Well, as I said before in the last episode, I'm only going to review Stardom's Dreams Queendom. I have to say it was a pretty good show. I know a lot of people have certain mixed reviews about certain things that take place. I know a lot of people have been talking about certain things that take place in the entire thing, but I'm willing to give my honest opinion and thoughts about it throughout the entire thing. But also, we're going to have some news updates, what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling. So, let's get started with another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Excuse me. Welcome, everybody, to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, as I said before, this is only we're going to be reviewing the entire thing about Stardom's Dream Queendom. This is the last show of 2022. So we're going to see, we'll be seeing title exchanges. Will be some titles that remain the same. Who knows? But let's get started. But before before we get into anything, we're going to talk about, as you know, I mentioned a while back that there's going to be a brand new bus for Stardom where they actually are going to be on tour. They unveiled the design, but now it's been revealed and unveiled at Rio Goku. I have to say, it's pretty cool. It looks almost just like the designs they put out, and I'm very happy for them. So, this is going to be interesting now for them since they're now stepping up their game. If you guys notice, they never actually used a bust ever. As you know, New Japan has that, but now Stardom is going to be doing that too. Now, for the record, I did not see the Rumble match. There were a lot of interesting things that took place. I mean, I'm just going to say we just found out who were the two mystery X's that we just saw. One of them is the one person that no Yoshi wrestler wants to get involved with, and that is Kikutaro. Yes, folks, the pervert is back. Yeah. The reason I call him pervert, guys, is because he likes to put his hands on women's boobs. That's the problem. Now, you have any idea how many women, when they see him, they try to run like hell, like they don't want to get their boobs touched? He tried to do that with Waka. He tried to do that with, well, he tried to make out with Saki, but it failed. But the best moment I enjoyed is when Miyu Amasaki was left alone with him. She knows that she doesn't want to tangle with him. So he tried to put his hands on her, but I don't know if the referee saw it or he just ignored it. Whatever it is, she kicked him in the groin. I'm like, wow, that I like her. She knows exactly what she was doing, and she pinned his ass. So at least he's out. But one of the mystery X's that was later announced, there's this character we've seen on several occasions named Super Strong Stardom Machine. Well, she's this little short girl in green. If you guys must know, we all know who that is. If you guys don't know who that is, then look it up. It's Saya Ida. But there's this new character, Super Strong Stardom Giant Machine. This one is a bit taller. And I can take a guess who that is. You probably guessed it too. Lady C. Anyway, Lady C even commented about this, saying that she saw her, didn't see her at the entranceway, and she said she would like to compare her height. Interesting. But however, the most interesting thing, the way this match ended, both super strong Stardom machines won. Kind of weird, but interesting. I don't know if they're having so much fun with this. I don't know. I thought it was cool. But I said I think my favorite moment of the match is when Mayu Masaki kicked Kikutaro right in the nuts. That will always be one of my favorite ones. Now, our first match is the high speed title, consistent of Colors members and also an ally to the Cosmic Angels. Hikari Shimizu taking on Azumi. Now, this particular match was set back during the Goddesses Tag League tour. Shimizu actually challenged this match because, as you know, she came back from an expedition from Mexico. I have to say she really stepped up the game as a high speed because the thing is, as you know, her Hikari Shimizu's teammate in the past from that excursion, Mei Shiruga, already challenged for that belt. We all thought that was a good match. It was a pretty good one. I did enjoy a lot of good moments on this one, but however, uh, Azumi has once again proven why she is the most dominant one in the high speed game, and she applied the numero uno, forcing uh, Hikari Shimizu to give up. So I think that's how many wins I lost count, but we'll see about that. Now, our next match is the Triangle Derby match, or should I call it the Stars Showdown? Now, if you guys remember, we already had the press conferences involving the Triangle Derby. One of the teams is Classmates, consistent of Saya Ida, Koguma, and Hazuki, taking on H&M, consistent of Hanan, Momokogo, and Mayu Iwatani. However, what I did like about this match, I don't know exactly the thing. Now, recently we did see how Momokogo's a bit not obnoxious. She's just a little too not weird, but she's out there. You know what I mean? After what she pulled at Goddesses Tag League, and Mayu criticized her, saying, "No wonder Hazuki left you." So there was a moment where, of course, Koguma played a little game with her with the bear and left her, and then here comes Hazuki and kabam, just like that. I'm like, oh my god, they were like treating her like, damn. I just did not expect that, but I think in the back of my mind, I don't know if it was wishful thinking to me that I thought that Azuki, Koguma, and Saida were going to win. But no, once again, Mayu reigned supreme on this one when she applied the Dragon Sleeper onto Ida to pick up the win. But however, I think Mayu is keeping her distance from Momokogo. I don't know what's the deal now. I mean, is there something about Momokogo that certain members of Stars find disturbing? That is the thing that bothers me. I mean, look, it was a good match, but I feel like maybe there's more to the story with Momokogo that we don't know. And I feel like we need to explore that more. So if you guys want to explore more, we should do that. So hopefully you guys can keep an open mind on that. Now, our next match is the most interesting one and the most important one. One of the most important ones that we expected. We had DDM, consistent of Tekla and Mai Sakurai, taking on the reunited Pink Kabuki of the Cosmic Angels, Unagi Sayaka and Mina Shirakawa. Now, when we saw Mina Shirakawa making her entrance, she comes out wearing this white mask and two ladies behind them. Now, one of them I recognize. It's Zaya Brookside. Now, those who are new to the channel, those who are not fans of Stardom, or if you guys are just plain fan, only knew of Zaya Brookside from her NXT UK days, yes, she's in Stardom, but she does have a long-standing history with them. She has toured with them. There was a documentary with wrestlers. You see Zaya Brookside along with Tony Storm together. I have to say it's great for her now, since, as you know, that NXT UK is completely dissolved. And for her to go back to Stardom, I think that's a true blessing for her to go back, because I think she made a hell of a career down there that way. But the obvious question is, how would Mina Shirakawa looks like now, ever since her horrific injury? I have to say she looks, wow, she still looks the same. But we question the one thing that many people say: how much ring rust does she has? Now keep in mind, she hasn't wrestled since November 3rd after that horrific accident with Sayaka Mitani. So that kind of tells us a lot. But I have to say it was pretty good. Not to mention, looks more like Tekla is the one who wants to hurt her the most. Tekla always tries to prove that she is the most dominating one, but unfortunately in this one it was Mina who pulled off the glamorous driver Mina. 1, 2, 3, it's over. But this is where things got interesting in the post match. Of course, we all, as you know, Mina got the biggest applaud of her return. I think that's great for her. But this is where people began to question. I think I'm going to take a little bit of my time with this one. Mina asked a simple question to Nagi. She asked her, "Why? Why did you leave? Why didn't you say anything?" But you can tell by the look of Unagi's face. It's like you can tell that she really screwed up. I mean, she left Stardom without warning, without talking to the other members. And I think the one person who was mostly affected was Mina. Now, why is that? Now, let's talk a little bit about that. These two girls knew of each other back in Tokyo Pro. According to certain information about it, these two were never friends during their time in Tokyo Pro, but coming to Stardom, they did. It kind of tells us, okay, they became inseparable, but now it's like Mina's upset that Unagi just left. I know deep down she wanted to give her reasons, but Mina felt like, sorry, I'm leaving you behind the rear view mirror. But she did state it that Pink Kabuki is over, like she's done. You can see Unagi like hurt, and then she introduced her new friends, Zaya Brookside and Mariah May, who you may have seen her in Rev Pro and Progress Wrestling down in UK. Together now they form a group known as the Club Venus. Now, this is where a lot of questions began. People were questioning and talking about this all over social media. Does this mean that Mina Shirakawa is officially gone with Cosmic Angels? That is a good question, but she did state it. It was already put on the English Twitter page by Sunny. She did state it that she is still a Cosmic Angel, and she's currently now a Club Venus. But the status of both Zaya and Mariah, it's very interesting. She said that they're not. I feel like this is a similar method that took place with Tam Nakano when she formed the Cosmic Angels with Mina and Unagi. Now keep in mind, people question, was Unagi a member of Stars? People say that she was, because initially this was a subgroup with Stars. That kind of sets it all. So it could be that possibility. But we don't know yet what it is. But they did have a press conference and all this and that. Waka played the translator. I thought she did pretty good on that. And then, of course, Unagi, who wanted to talk to her, like explain to her what's been about everything. But you can tell by the look of Mina's face that she's like, okay, I'm done with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. That she has that, in a way, is saying this. I'm still a Cosmic Angel, but I don't want nothing to do with you. But we haven't heard anything from Tam yet. Like, what is her take on this? I know that she's been dealing with the Waka situation. That is still weighing on her. We don't know yet what's going on. I felt like Tam is falling apart over all of this. I mean, things were going great for them in the last couple of months. I mean, winning the Goddesses tag titles. I just don't know. But that's another conversation. I will find out more once things come into light. Now, our next match we have is the number one contendership for the Goddesses tag titles. We have team number one from God's Eye, Mirai and Amisori versus BMI 2000 of Odetai, Ruka, and Natsuko Tora. And then, of course, there's My Him of DDM, Maika and Himika. This match was insane. I thought it was going to be... People were already saying, okay, it has to be Natsuko Tora, and because they feel like it's the obvious choice due to the fact that they were dominant in in tag league. But right now, in this matter, it goes up to okay. Micah pulled off the Michinoku driver onto to Ruka, allowing themselves to win the number one contendership. Now, the initial thought this is if they win the tag titles, 2023 will be the year of DDM because right now Julia's title is at stake that for DDM. Now, our next match is the Artists Championship, which ended up in a hardcore match. Now, I'm gonna say this right now because I felt this. I thought maybe because what the hell was Oda Tai thinking? Can anybody explain to me? They requested a hardcore match at the press conference. Now, Prominence are saying, are you sure you really want that? Look, the way I see it is this. There's no secret that Oda Tai used weapons to cheat. There's no secret about that. But do they honestly think they can master hardcore match? You're looking at 5 women in a unit, a freelance unit that specialize in hardcore matches and death matches. Do they honestly think they have the advantage on that? That's the thing that gets me thinking. Did they really thought they had everything under their control? Look, these women take all the pain all the time. Look at the scars that Zuzu has. Look at the scars that Risa Serra. They're the ones who know exactly what they're doing. And I think that's the problem that Oda Tai. I would like to say Oda Tai made the biggest mistake of their careers. They should have not requested this match. But they thought in their right minds, hardcore match, we're going to win because we have the advantage. That's how I see it. But I have to say it was pretty good. But I feel sorry that Saki Kashima was the one who got her ass whooped completely. She went through a table. She went through a German suplex. 1, 2, 3. Prominence becomes the new artist belt. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Why would Stardom allow outsiders? I can give you a reason why. I think if you guys remember, go back to months ago, early this year, when Prominence were first made their appearance, they were the most hated unit for attacking Julia in every aspect. But when people are seeing the story, yes, Prominence has a problem with Julia because of what she did. But we never gave them credit what they can do in the ring until we saw what Zuzu can do, what Risa Serra can do. That changed it. And I think that played a pretty good well. So, but however, the writing was already on the wall to see Prominence win. The reason is behind that. Many people talked about this during the the press conference of the Triangle Derby. We saw Saki Kashima and Momo teaming up with Natsuko Tora. We saw Starlight Kid teaming up with Ruka and Aruka Umasaki. What does that tell you? Oh, titles will be dropped. That's the obvious right there. It was the writing was already on the wall. Do I have a problem with it? No. I think it's good because, as you know, in the past, they never went to this direction, but now we could. So they are now our brand new artist champions. Now our next match. I skipped one. Our next match is a special match. We have Utami Hayashida taking on the Pirate Princess and our current IWGP Women's Champion. We're talking about KAIRI. Now, this particular match was set right after Utami won the belt. Now, keep in mind, Tam Nakano has already issued a challenge for that belt on January 4th because it's already been decided by the IWGP committee. Whoever was going to win the IWGP Women's title was going to defend it on January 4th. And of course, Tam already announced it. But Utami, I'm sure she wanted that title, but she put herself in this particular match. You can tell like there's a lot of animosity between the two of them, but the match was insane. You could tell that, Utami wanted to break her in half, but unfortunately it didn't go exactly according to plan. It ended with, of course, um, a time limit draw with 15 minutes. I'm sure this is not over between Utami and Kairi. I'm sure we could see somewhere down the line that maybe Utami will challenge for that belt once again. So we'll see when that day happens. Our next match is the Goddesses of Stardom tag team titles. We got the winners of Tag League, 7 Up, Yu and Nanane Takahashi, taking on Meltier, Natsupoi, and Tam Nakano. Now, a part of me felt like how 100% focus is Tam right now because, I mean, she's dealing with a lot. First with Tam, with Waka, with the situation, and we haven't heard anything from her about Mina, what's been going on. That's the thing that we haven't heard yet. But I have to say that she pulled off every stop, everything. You probably thought, could Natsupoi do the German suplex on her? We were like expecting it. But Natsupoi, being the high speed that she is, she managed to, how do I say, escape the last ride twice. But unfortunately, the third one, it was too late. Basically, you won by you pinned Natsupoi to become our brand new goddesses. I was surprised that they allowed this to happen. And I'm sure that Tam is devastated losing these belts. I know Natsupoi feels that, will get stronger. But of course, once 7 Up as been declared the new champions, you probably can guess who showed up. Maika and Himeka. Now, keep in mind, they're trying to stay on point. But what do I think about this having with 7 Up winning these titles? Well, I could think of one logical explanation. Maybe they want to establish Neo Stardom Army now with them having Stardom Gold around them. I think that's the logical explanation. But now that they have to contend with Maika and Himeka, now keep in mind, 7 Up lost to them in Goddesses Tag League. And I'm sure that they're going to use that against them. But do I honestly think they're going to lose the titles this quick? I don't think so. But I don't know. I feel like they're not going to lose the titles this sooner because I think they're trying to establish more of the Neo Stardom Army because we know that Yuna Manaze is amongst them. We know Yuta Mizumori is in it. And of course, Alpha Fima's in it, but we haven't seen her since. So we'll be watching and see what's going to take place. But right after the post-match comments with Meltier, Natsupoi did state it that they will get stronger, but Tam didn't know what to say. Keep in mind, certain moments in her career this year has been nothing but turmoil. Like, of course, with Sakurai betraying them, not winning the 5-star Grand Prix. What else? Not winning the best tag team in Tokyo sports. Dealing with Waka. Her mind is all over the place. And one guy commented on Twitter saying, Natsupo is the only one who can save Tam. And I have to say, she could. She's the only one who can do it. I feel like she can pull it up together. All she needs to do is try to talk to her, cheer her up. Now, our semifinal match, we have the Wonder of Stardom Championship, aka the white belt. We have the challenger from World Women Pro Wrestling Diana, Haruka Umasaki, taking on Sayaka Mitani. I thought this match was good. It was pretty impressive because Umasaki has been highly regarded as one of the most impressive wrestlers coming. I mean, she's from Diana, but they allow her to compete in other promotions. And I think that's what drew Sayaka Mitani's attention. At first, she didn't want to know anything until Kid informed her she has been with every company in Japan. And I think, okay, let's see what she got. But, however, it was the Frankensteiner that sealed the deal for her to win the match. Now, I would have assumed she would have done the Firebird Splash, but no. But of course, we haven't seen her do the Phoenix Splash due to what happened back in November. So she retained the title, and I think right now, in this point, she is only 12 defenses so far. One more she ties with Momo. Now, however, in the post match, she gives props to Umasaki of what she can do and all this. She even called out Mina Shirakawa. Now, I would have presumed she would have called her out to challenge her. But no, it did not happen. I know some of you are saying that is a load of horse shit that Sayakami Tani did not give her the rematch. You can tell by Mina's like, you got to be kidding me. But however, I think I see a different psychological reason why. She called out Amisuri instead. Now you asked me this question. What am I exactly thinking? Think about it. Kamitani's only goal as our current white belt champion is to break the most defense record. As I mentioned, Momo Watanabe has 13 self-defense 13 defense victories so far. Right now, Kamitani has 12. Now, if she wins against Amisori, it becomes more like she's tied. But the obvious question remains, will she, the way I see it, do I think she's going to call out Mina, the challenger? Because think about it. If she beats her for this, she's going to use her as a stepping stone to ensure she breaks the record. I think that's what I think she wants. I have to say she's very deceiving from my point of view. I don't know if you guys can notice that. That's what I think, because that's Kamitani's goal. I don't see Mina talking about that. I don't see anybody talking about the most defense record, but it's Kamitani. I feel she's being devious about this, knowing that she is determined to break Momo Watanabe's defense record. And I think that's kind of like making sure that's how she wins. I'm not sure if that's the case, but after we see that match with Amisori, we'll see what happens then. Now, our main event is the World of Stardom. Julia versus Sudi. This is take two between them. The last time these two fought was back in World Climax in March. Julia came up short, but she won the 5-star Grand Prix, made it perfectly clear that she's going to be in the most physical condition she could be. I have to say, it was the most brutal match you ever get to see. They went all out in every way possible. I mean, outside the ring, using their own moves against each other. But time was running out from this match. You can tell. I know many fans are saying Julia's going to win. That's always been the case on that. And she did. It took a glamorous Northern Light bomb to finish her up to become the new champion. This is what people were asking for. But of course, she does give Sudi the respect because, man, she really did put up a good fight. So we're going to see what matches she would definitely want. I know for a fact she has unfinished business with Mayu Iwatani because if you guys know this, I feel like she wants her throne. She wants that icon throne to herself. And I feel that's what it is. I don't think she's ever faced Utami Ishida before, but we will see because there's a lot of good matches to say. But who will be the lucky one to dethrone her by the end of next year? That's the key thing that we're going to have to pay a watch when we get there. But it's a long way to go, but let's see what happens then. But the real question does remain. Will 2023 be the year of DDM? Because, as I mentioned, Maika and Himeka are in line for a tag team titles. Will they beat 7-Up, or 7-Up will prevail and bring passion to everyone to show them that the old schoolers are the far more better, superior wrestlers? We will see when that day comes. So I think that's pretty much it right now with Stardom. I can't believe I went up to 30 minutes or so on this. But right now, let's move on to our lasting news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So this is what we have for so far that I've been able to come across. As, as I talked about before, we have WrestleCon taking place during WrestleMania week. They just announced Brian Cage will be the participating guest involved, so I'm very happy. Now, those who have followed Hikaru Shida, she will be returning to Japan to put two titles in defenses. Now, I did mention she will be participating in, of course, with Pro Wrestling Wave for the Regina the Wave title on the line against Prominence leader Risa Serra. But, however, she's also the other half of the international ribbon tag team titles with Ibuki Hoshi from Ice Ribbon. They face against the previous champions, uh, Totoro Satsuki and Yuna Manaze. So we'll see what happened. But there was an interesting article about Shida's partner, Hoshi, how she's saying that she views her as her opponent that she wants to face. Right now, they're partners, but if they do have the chance to lose these titles, she would love nothing more to challenge her. Hmm, rather interesting. Now, West Coast Pro has announced for their upcoming event on February the 4th, Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. They announced that Super Beast has been booked for this particular event. Now, I found an interesting article. As you know, um, we're getting straight head to Wrestle Kingdom 17. We're going to witness the first ever IWGP Women's Championship defended. KAIRI will defend that title against the leader of Cosmic Angels, Tam Nakano. Now, I like to say this that I wonder how Tam Nakano is with her head, with how she is, with dealing with this whole thing with Waka. We don't know how losing the tag titles and all this other stuff. But I like what KAIRI talked highly about Tam Nakano. The New Japan actually posted on their website an interview they did with her, and the best part is the whole thing with Tam. So let's go through that part only. So let's see what she had to say. So now that you does it feel defending that title in Tokyo Dome on January 4th? It wasn't long ago at all it seemed impossible. I used to say that Mayu and I would wanted to wrestle in Nippon Budokan one day, and now here I am in a title match on the biggest possible stage. Do you watch New Japan? Oh yeah, I brought bought tickets to Dome in January 4th several times. It's great to see Shota Umino challenge Osprey. Hold on, let me. Okay, here it is. Okay, now here it is. I found it. And now you're facing the leader of the Cosmic Angels, Tam Nakano. She promised a special kind of hell for you. When she challenged, she's been connected to you since you came back to Stardom in February. This is what she said. Right, Tam came into Stardom just as I left, and we haven't had any contact. But when I came over to WWE, I asked Io, I asked Io about her, and she said she's a lot like you. That put her on my radar. Interesting. March 26th this year in Ryogoku, you teamed up with Iwatani, the face, Tam, and Unagi. It kind of got sense of the ment she said we're similar. She really wears her heart on her sleeve. She's has this cute pop idol look like, but really violent fight style. And to contrast, it makes her really appealing. She certainly has the guts to come out and challenge me right away, like she did, and I think she is the ideal person for the spot. She has some very varied offensive. She's good in each area. Suplexes, great form, great. Her strikings are powerful and precise. She's more dangerous on the outside than you think. She's scary. She is has a combination of ability and confidence. I get the impression she's very different to, say, the WWE style wrestler. Right. WWE matches are usually built around more limited number of moves, since the goal is to bring the opponent down while bringing the TV audience in. I think the re- this is really going to be about who dictates the pace, and Tam is good doing that as well. But I think her biggest weapon is passion. What that kind of a hell comment. She's scary, you know. Last year she was a lot of match of the year votes for Stardom fans, and I think that's proof how emotional invested she gets into her matches. She has sense of jealousy or negative emotions. She's able to turn that into strength and power and use it against her opponent. It seems you really are analytic when it comes to Tam. I see you read her. Have you been reading her autobiography as well? I wanted to see what she's really like, and we're all passionate where we come from. I read the whole thing in a day. I think she really struck me as she's not one to let things go. She won't resist and move on. She absolutely has let all the emotions out before she can do that. That's frightening. She's an emotional whirlwind, but in a positive sense as well. It's not negative emotions turning in with anger with her. She can take the love of her fans and wanting to repay them for support, uh, for support exactly the same extremes. So, what does that tell us? Tam Nakano is really impressed with, KAIRI is really impressed with Tam Nakano for what she can do in the ring. So now she's going to have a singles competitor. So the real question does remain with KAIRI. Will she be able to try to overcome someone who we've seen her give the best storyline matches we've seen in a long time? And I think that's one of the things that I like about Tam. I have to say, this guy mentioned she is the overall best wrestler due to the fact that she can tell a best storyline. And I think that tells us. But right now, we need to ask ourselves with the question with Tam, is she 100% focused? We now know that she's dealing with a whole lot. I mean, with losing the tag titles, Waka, but how is the situation with her and Mina? That's the thing that we still don't know yet. Hopefully, before we get to January 4th, all of it can come out. All we can do is wait and see. So I think that's pretty much it. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode where I actually do the entire thing of Stardom's Dream Queendom. I have to say it was a good show, but we're gonna see how 2023 is gonna be. I'm sure that many fans would like to see who would challenge Julia for the belt, but some of you probably will be analyzing who would most likely be the one to dethrone her. My guess is we may see the same result like last year, where like today, where someone will dethrone her on possibly December 29th of 2023. That's something I do see coming because we saw that last year with Sudi dethroning Utami Ayashida. Who do you think will be the one to do it? Well, personally, I would love to see Tam Nakano do it because she hasn't won that belt yet. So I feel she could be possibly the one to do it. But like I said, right now she is in turmoil, but we'll see about that. And as for everything else, I'll be doing the Lucha AAA stuff on the next episode. Also, just to let everybody know, there is no MLW. It's mostly the best of 2022 MLW. So we'll just do that. Hopefully, there is an impact. If not, then I'll just try something else. So that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys on the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you do so. Goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.